What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, in my limited experience going to pre-screeners and premieres from Marvel Studios over the last 2 years, there's really two ways they normally do this. The first of which, the way I prefer, they do the pre-screeners and premieres only a couple of days before the theatrical release. This way, I don't have to hold on to all my thoughts and theories. I see it, then you guys do. No secrets to keep. But also, people talking about the film, the amount of time they have to talk about it is vastly shorter than the 2-week run-up we get now, from the premieres and pre-screeners that ran out last week to Wakanda Forever coming out next Friday. There are 2+ weeks for people to talk about it, which leaves the opportunity, even if they don't mean to drop major spoilers or reveals about the film. And that's what's happened today, as reported by Deadline, and coming from a president over at Marvel Studios, Victoria Alonso, someone who's been on scene the entire time, and it doesn't get more official than this, revealing a huge change to the origin of Namor's name. And while yes, this isn't a spoiler in the sense of ruins the narrative or exactly what's going to happen, to me it was one of the most poignant parts of the film, really built out the mythology and explained his name in a way that the original comic book origin did not have connotation. So with the lightest of spoiler warnings, we're going to break down this change to Namor's name and now what it means in the MCU compared to what it used to mean from the comics. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win all of our giveaways, including the next PS5 giveaway, which we are right around the corner from and could easily hit by November's end. So again, if you want to be entered to win, and for all the other prizes, all the same rules apply, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this clip was reported on from Deadline Hollywood, one of the most trusted Hollywood trades, in a clip from the actual red carpet premiere where someone is interviewing Victoria Alonso, president over at Marvel Studios, talking about the film and NAMOR's name. And what she goes on to explain is something that's revealed in the film, so last second spoiler warning. If you don't want to know this, you can back out now. Heads up, you're still going to have to dodge it on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else, or I can just explain it for you, but I'm not mad at you. You can come back and see us. We'll still be here after the film. She goes on to explain that NAMOR comes from the sentence "uno niño sin amor," which is Spanish for a child, uno niño, sin amor, without love. Namor. That's where he gets his name. So not only is it recontextualizing his name taken from his adversary's reference to him, a child without love, in his vengeance that he's seeking retribution on behalf of his people, but it also now roots his name in the new Aztec and Maya mythology that they've gone ahead and attributed to this character. Now, the original origin for Namor was avenging son or son of Atlantis, and you've probably heard this one before, but it's basically Roman spelled backwards, R-O-M-A-N, my last name, spelled N-A-M-O-R, and it sounded regal to him, dignified in the sense of Atlantis, so he went ahead and named him that. This is a complete departure from that, an actual recontextualization of his name. Now, I for one am totally okay with this, and it's these little changes that make the most sense. His name wouldn't just come from nowhere or spelling Roman backwards. It would actually have a reason, and in this film, that reason explains his character. Some people have weighed in, seen how he's portrayed in the trailers, or even from some of the original reactions saying maybe his motivations weren't that clear or didn't quite understand this character, but actual fans of Namor will know how absolutely ornery and angsty he is the entire time. He's quite the Marvel character, quite the standout, and in a sea of characters that feel sort of morally and ethically the same no matter what side, villains or heroes they're on, Namor is a true standout in that. And so a boy without love, the idea that there's no love, his character has no love, is actually to me one of the greatest representations of how I would have thought of him from the comics. So regardless of what details they've changed, both in his mythology and origin, the meaning of his name, to me, it's even more spot on Namor than just spelling Namor backwards and sounding regal. He is a character without love. He has no love really for anybody but him and his people, and acts that way quite often in the comics. You can never really know where you stand with him, and a lot of our traditional heroes, he has problems with them. Yeah, he serves on the Illuminati, but he's also fought Black Panther a ton of times. So I really like this change because to me, it doesn't actually change the character. it rather honors the original origin and intention for his attitude. Now, we're still about 10 days from the film coming out, and the reviews won't start to post for another week. They come out next Monday, but I have seen in the reactions, and again, no spoilers here, and there won't be spoilers in the review either, that people found Namor's intentions to be what they refer to as a little weak or confusing. But I think you need to take this idea, now that we know it, now that it's been revealed from Marvel President about him having no love, and really carry it with the character into the future of Marvel, not just what's going on in this film, but when we see him again during Secret Wars, and we will. He's definitely a character that has shown up tied tightly in the lore for Marvel and the Secret Wars storyline. It's him and Black Panther on a quest to find Doctor Strange, which leads Black Panther to the Infinity Gauntlet. And it's funny, in that moment when Namor sees T'Challa wield that Infinity Gauntlet full of Infinity Stones, he says something along the lines of "better you than me," because he knows if he had the Infinity Gauntlet, it wouldn't be good for anybody. Now, of course, in the comics, his last name, Mackenzie, comes from his human father, and it's unclear whether or not they're going to go there in the film. I'm going to leave that for you guys to watch it, but knowing that they've added the name Kukulkan, I'm doubting that Mackenzie will ever show up. Also important to note that this Without Love has shown up one other time, and this year in the MCU. We heard it in the theme song for the very first episode of Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight. Lonely is a man without love. And while I think that the reference or the connection between these two may be tenuous at best, knowing that they were written by completely different people and at a different time, it is impossible to ignore the fact that both of these men serve as in the avatar of gods. And in the case of Namor, literally called a god and has the powers of one. They both have superhuman powers derived as a deity and now called without love. So I think there may be this theme being explored here of just how much do our creators love us, coming from the Celestials, coming from Thor, Love and Thunder, seeing the way that that ended and how Zeus now wants to seek retribution against us because we don't quite love them enough. There's always been a push and pull, a dialectic between the creation and the creator that's been examined in literature since basically literature has been around. And now it's interesting that one of the sub-themes we've seen in Phase 4, as they've gone on to introduce a lot of these characters that sort of toe the line between human and God, also have a problem with love and no love. And so this change not only specifically recontextualizes Namor's name in a way that makes sense for him, his character origin, but also the MCU story, but also might hint at an actual subplot theme that's going through the entire Phase 4 leading up to Secret Wars, when we lead to someone who calls himself God Emperor or God King Doom. Well, you guys get the idea. Let me know all your thoughts down below if you have a problem with this change, and of course, I'm going to keep it spoiler free here at the channel, well, unless Marvel President goes ahead and says these things and it shows up as a headline at Deadline, and then I have to cover it. But let me know all your thoughts down below quickly. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 now at 1 million subscribers, which we are headlong into and will easily hit by November's end. If you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will apply, and for all the other giveaways, which we're announcing some new ones this week and then going into December as well for the holiday season. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. I also really appreciate it if you hit the sub button, but for those of you who have already been subbed and rocking with me for a while, I cannot thank you enough. This has been an incredible journey, and we are almost to 1 million. And if you haven't already, but you've continued to watch my videos, whether you're new to the channel or watch me occasionally, if you haven't subbed yet, just a kind invitation to, I'm almost at 1 million subscribers. It's a lifelong goal. I am so close, literally about 1% away. Every sub counts, and I would love to have yours. If not, no worries. I'll see you in the next one. I love you guys. Peace.